Laker Nation, today's show is just as stacked as the Lakers roster following NBA free agency. But let me start off by asking you this question because we're going to be talking about Russell Westbrook today. What's your confidence level in Russ's fit with the Lakers? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. This is a great opportunity for you to sound off and get those votes in. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. You're watching the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Chase Sr. Give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. Let me ask you this question. Do you want the best men's grooming products out there on the market? Well, the good news is you can get 20% off and free shipping by going to Manscaped.com and entering the promo code LAKERS. We'll put that link in the description as well as the comment section of this video. Let's hop into the latest Lakers news and rumors. We start off today's show with Russell Westbrook. As we know, let's play some catch up here. The Lakers traded for Russ prior to NBA free agency. He's going to join alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis to really form an intriguing trio. Is it a big three? Is it not? Embrace debate. You can tell me if you think it is a big three or not. And Skip and Shannon on Undisputed on Fox Sports discussed Russ and his fit on the Lakers. And this is a topic of conversation that we've talked a lot about here on the Lakers channel. So let's first look at what Skip and Shannon had to say, and then I'll expand my thoughts on Russell Westbrook as well. First up, Shannon Sharp. This is not a natural fit, he said, but I believe when you get three guys like this with these dynamic personalities, you've got to have a conversation because we're going to have to sacrifice something in order for this to work. It will work because I believe they want it to work. As for what Skip Bayless had to say in response to that, I believe this will be nothing less than a disaster for LeBron James. Strong words there. I like every move the Lakers made except for Russ. Russ will consider this his team and more than LeBron's. Every move that LeBron made is undercut, disqualified, rendered obsolete by the fact that Russell Westbrook is now your primary decision maker, and your point guard. It will be impossible for even LeBron James to overcome that because in the end, Russell Westbrook is nothing but a sensational solo act. Strong words from Skip Bayless, no surprise there. That's why he's been able to secure the bag over the duration of his career because he comes through with some ridiculous hot takes sometimes. And I kind of agree a little bit with the fit being a little wonky and a little bit weird. I don't think that Russ is going to be the primary ball handler. I think at the end of games in the playoffs, LeBron James is going to take over the ball handling duties and be the primary decision maker on this team. And prior to free agency, I did think that trading for Russell Westbrook was somewhat weird because this was a roster that was bereft of shooters. But after the first week of free agency, I don't think that any longer because what Rob Pelinka and GM LeBron James were able to do, surround LeBron, AD, and Russ, not the greatest shooters that we've ever seen in NBA history, with a bunch of really good shooters. Kendrick Nunn, 40% guy. So too is Carmelo Anthony from deep. Wayne Ellington is still a sniper from long range. Trevor Ariza can still get it done. And you take a look at this Lakers starting five. Yes, it's older, which we'll get to and explore here in just a bit. But this is certainly a lethal Lakers starting lineup that I think has a lot of versatility to it. What do I mean by that? Russ is going to start at point guard, but he can also play off-ball in late-game situations because LeBron James is also going to be able to control the rock. You have Marc Gasol and Anthony Davis at the 4-5 spots, but AD has said this offseason he's willing to play more of the natural 5 spot, which could then make AD the 5, slide out a guy like Marc Gasol to bring him in off the bench. Maybe in spot starts you start Dwight Howard, and then at that 2-3 spot you could start either Wayne Ellington, you could go with Kendrick Nunn, maybe even Malik Monk. So I like the Lakers' positional versatility, I like the depth, and I like the different lineups that Frank Vogel, who just got extended by the Lakers, can kind of trot out there during the course of an 82-game regular season as well as in the playoffs. So let me ask you this question again. If you didn't get your votes in already, do so right now. This is the pinned comment on today's video. If you get hit with this ad break, be sure to scroll down and get your votes in. Your confidence level in Russ's fit with the Los Angeles Lakers. Sticking with Russ, did LeBron James want Westbrook over Buddy Hield? Because it looked as though prior to that Russell Westbrook trade happening, the Lakers were going to make a deal for Buddy Hield to get themselves a sharp shooter. Dave McMenamin, been covering the Lakers for a long time, had this to say on the Low Post podcast with Zach Lowe. My reporting is that certainly LeBron James was in favor of this Russ move over the Buddy Hield move. Is it because he recognizes that perhaps the Lakers didn't have enough playmaking, and that's kind of been a point of emphasis he's had since the 2016-2017 season? Yes, I think so potentially, because as LeBron James progresses in age, as he gets older and longer in the tooth, he's going to turn 37 years old in December. I think in the regular season, throughout the gauntlet of a long regular season, he wants guys who can take the pressure off of him offensively. And it's easier for LeBron to not consistently be pushing the tempo and play a little off ball while letting Russ, who gives it 110% every single night and goes really hard because his effort and swagger is unbelievable, you let him continue to do what he does and just be that energetic player, and LeBron can take some reps off, some plays off, and sometimes some nights off. So who did you want in a trade? Did you want Russ? Type RW. Did you want Buddy Hield? Type BH. This is a really good debate that's been ongoing within the Laker Nation community. That's why we're asking you this question. Be sure to get your votes in the comment section. Russell Westbrook certainly plays the game of basketball like his hair is on fire, and you don't want your balls to be on fire. That's why you got to get hooked up with Manscaped. You go to manscaped.com and enter the promo code LAKERS. You get 20% off and free shipping on the best men's grooming products. Let me tell you a little bit about the Lawnmower 4.0. This thing looks like it was just produced out of Transformers. The technology on this thing is incredible. 4 interchangeable blades, safeguard technology. So when you're knick-knack, paddywhacking all that hair downstairs in the nether region, you're not going to get yourself cut up. The 4 interchangeable blades are awesome because you can use it downstairs on your chest, on your back, on your beard, on your hair. I mean, look at the edges of my haircut right now. It's all thanks to the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Battery life lasts forever. It's also waterproof. So once again, manscaped.com. Enter the promo code LAKERS. You get 20% off and free shipping on the best men's grooming products out there. To me, during NBA free agency, it came about as somewhat of a surprise that the Lakers brought in Kendrick Nunn, because I thought he was going to have suitors elsewhere in free agency, and also I thought he was going to be able to secure a nice little payday with another team. He thought that as well. He knew that going in. He was cool with it, though, because he wanted to hop on board the Lakers train. Kendrick Nunn, on his free agency process, it wasn't that hard, he said, quote, to turn down less money to sign with LA. I mean, you get to team up with LeBron and AD and chase a ring. Not too bad. You win that ring. Maybe you get paid a little bit more moving forward. And according to The Athletic, going into free agency, they projected Kendrick Nunn to make $11.5 million per year. He signed with the Lakers for 2 years, 10.5, so basically half of what The Athletic had projected for him to make. That's why it was a surprise to me and many others, some Laker people as well. Kendrick Nunn, what did he do last year in Miami? What can you expect from him? He kind of has a lot of Dion Waiters to his game. Lakers fans certainly familiar with him. He's a better culture fit than Dion Waiters, who thought that when he was going up against LeBron, he was the better player than LeBron, which is somewhat delusional. But the point here is Kendrick Nunn can score the rock. 14.5 points per game. He shot nearly 49% from the floor last year, about 38% from distance. He can give you spot starts. He can come in off the bench, be that microwave type scorer. And I kind of like the move for that reason, because I do think the Lakers need some playmakers. Of course, they already have Russ. They need some floor stretchers as well as shooters, guys who can really just kind of take it to the rack, score from all three levels, and give this team an energetic presence offensively. As for what Nunn had to say about some of those bigger offers that he got in free agency, it wasn't that hard, to be honest. I'm a guy that knows how to sacrifice for the better of the team. I know how to do that, and I'm willing to do that. It's not about myself. It's a team sport, and I want to win. That's what I played this game for, is to win. Nunn is going to have an opportunity to win a lot and win big in Los Angeles. $5 million per year over the next 2. That's a great value deal for the Lakers, and that's a big reason why I love everything that Pelinka and LeBron have done in free agency by rounding out this roster with cheap, affordable pieces that fit. As for the Lakers' age on this team, they are going into the 2021-2022 season as the oldest team in the history of the NBA. And while I love the moves, if there is one concern, it is that age. What does Wayne Ellington think about the Lakers getting a little bit longer in the tooth? He said this: I don't think it'll be a problem at all. I think age is just a number. If you look, I feel like guys that have been pretty healthy, still moving really well, and even some guys that are playing some of their best basketball right now at this age, with the experience and type of leadership that we have, I don't think that'll be any problem. Like LeBron said, just make sure everyone keeps that same energy when we get on the court. A lot of players on this team who are 30 years old or older. We take a look at them right now. I'm going along with what Wayne Ellington had to say, because LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, Wayne Ellington, as we continue to filter through this list, Dwight Howard, Marc Gasol, Trevor Ariza, none of these players really throughout the duration of their NBA careers have been injury prone. And the only guy who's missed a lot of time consistently is Anthony Davis, and he's one of the guys on this roster who's under the age of 30. So I think that's somewhat of a positive for the Lakers going into next season, is that it's not like they're bringing in a bunch of grandfathers who are always getting injured year in and year out. These guys historically have been very durable players. And all of these moves, they were made for this year and this year alone, because this Lakers brass and organization understands LeBron James is 36 years old. And while he's still playing like one of, if not the best player in the NBA right now, let's be real here. He's turning 37 years old in December. We have to capitalize on this window right now and try to win another championship. Does the Lakers' age on this roster worry you? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Our final question for you before we get out of here, be sure to get those votes in the comment section down below. Once again, Laker Nation, make sure you should subscribe to the Lakers Report, or I should say, make sure you subscribe to the Lakers Report. YouTube.com/LakersTV. We're cooking up the best Lakers news and rumors. Everything that has to do with this organization, we got you covered.